Hey everybody, welcome to the 18th episode of Isolation, the series where I'm out here building new trails, riding bikes, and doing whatever I can to make the most of life during these times. Welcome back to my trail. Look at it. Beautiful green, ferny, amazing forest. I just love it out here. I'm so excited to be back out here because I haven't been out here in probably 3 days. It's been just absolutely downpouring rain. If you watched the last episode, you saw that we were just like in torrential rain for a couple hours there. It was gnarly and it's over now, finally. I'm really excited to be back out here digging, and Operation Build Big Tree Stump Gap thing is commencing. Cannot wait. And now it's down to the tricky side of things because first of all, I'm out here by myself today and you can't really frame up a giant, massive wooden takeoff with one person. It's just not safe or really possible to do. But there is a few things I really have to factor in when I'm building this. It's such a technical hit that if I screw up this takeoff, or put it in the wrong spot at all, this hit just might not work smoothly at all. So I really have to dial this in. If you look at the berm right now that we started building last weekend, it's still really long. We need to really shorten it up, give the whole berm a tighter radius and a smoother, tighter, steeper curve. So I got a lot of dirt I have to stack here still. And then the next thing I got to do is really figure out where the takeoff's going to start, because if you look at the stump here, it's so tall. And I actually just measured it up right now. The stump itself is 11 feet tall from the top to the forest floor. And then the lip itself is 8 foot 3 inches with an 18-foot radius, and then the base of it is about 14.5 feet long. I'm actually going to throw the shovel in the ground as a visual guide. So my ideal guessing game scenario would be, let's say, 7 feet off the stump. So I got the measuring tape out right now. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 feet off the stump, right down here. I'm going to grab the shovel. I'm going to stick it in the ground there. And then look at it from the side. That's the top of the lip, and it's 3 feet below the top of that. I mean, that's probably a pretty good spot for it to be. If I can be that distance from it, that's probably pretty sick. It still looks pretty close. Okay, so that's where that is. And then if I measure the distance from the shovel to where the dirt starts, 10. Okay. 14.5 feet is right there. That means the lip would start way back here, which is pretty gnarly. That's really friggin' tight to that. Crazy. Okay. This is definitely going to be a challenge. One thing I have to think about is the ground is a little bit higher here, so if I prop the lip up here, it's going to bring everything up higher, which means that distance might not be so bad. Another thing I have to consider is once these posts go in the ground, they're going to be a couple feet lower than the top of the curve, meaning the posts are actually going to be behind where the top of the curve will be, because it's going to kind of overlap a bit and the curve is going to go higher than the actual supports. What I'm saying is the supports aren't going to the very top of the curve. They're going maybe about 3/4 of the way up. So I have to factor that in too with distance. So maybe just to be on the safe side of things, I'll dig the holes a little further back here. I'll really clean that up, and then that'll give me kind of a good guessing point. I don't know, this is really tough. I think I might just start off with getting this berm as nice as possible, ending as soon as possible. That might just be the very best bet here. All right, let's get the very first build laps kicked off. here's what we got so far. The berm into the big tree stump is roughed in. It's good to go. I think it needs to be like a little more outside, but I'm not going to get too carried away until I really know where the wooden curve for the big ramp is going. What I've done here is I've dug 2 dig pits, 2 feet deep, and they're 3 feet apart, or just over, like 3.5 feet apart, because what I imagine happening is it being like a 4 foot wide takeoff, but the slats will overhang and the base will be 3 feet wide with a little more width at the very base. So it's kind of like a triangular shape. And that dude's like, wee! This is so roundabout building out here. Like, there's another trail right there, like literally like 100 feet off this trail, and it's so cool. Like, there's people who come here and they just have the time of their lives. So it's hilarious, just like hearing all the hooting and hollering as I'm digging. Anyways, so yeah, this is how it's gonna work. Like, it's gonna go kind of a triangular frame. You're gonna have it like taper up at the top, so it's gonna be 3 feet wide at the top, sitting like, these posts will probably sit about 6 or 7 feet off the ground, because they're not actually going to be going like to the very top of the takeoff. I'm going to have to shave them off, cross brace it, and the curve is going to sit on them, and the curve will be like overhanging by a few feet too, so it's not going to be at like the very top of the curve, and that's going to be nice. You'll have a nice solid base kind of 3/4 of the way to the top, and it's going to save me a bit of room too, because I imagine like the top, with the post being here, the top of the lip will be kind of right in front of this pile, which is kind of right on the money for what I was thinking. And it's going to save me a bit of space, because I took the measuring tape and I measured from the top of this shovel right here to where the dirt pile ends on the berm. And that's only 11 feet of distance, with the whole entire length of the curve measured from the bottom being 14.5 feet. I need a bit of wiggle room there. So I think that's a pretty decent spot. I laid the shovels out there just to kind of visualize what it's doing, and then looking at it from here, it's definitely like sitting more outside than I imagined, so I can always push the berm out. An easier solution would be just like move the dig holes over a bit more, but I'm not really gonna get like a really clear view until this tree is gone, because it's gonna be pretty impossible to keep it here. I would love to keep it, but I can't really like make that work with like all the other stuff. There's roots everywhere. It's kind of a compromise. It's like, do I dig up a bunch of live tree roots and like destroy a massive beautiful tree, or do I just cut out kind of a smaller tree that I can salvage for wood? Because I can literally use like every single inch of wood in that tree for this feature. I can take the narrower bits and use it as cross bracing. I can take the fatter bits down by the base of the tree and use it as like landing fill for the dirt landing that's going to be out going after this. So that's going to be the best solution, I think. It's really going to open up the forest. It's going to look really clean, and this is going to be so sick. Can't wait. So the next time I get help out here, I'm going to haul these big posts in. We're going to lay them out. We're going to cross brace everything, shave off the top, cut in some wedges, set in the curve, do some more bracing, and then last but not least, we're going to slide everything with some nice cedar, and it's going to look so dope. I can't wait. All right, that's it for digging today. Let's go jump into some riding now, as always. All right.
Sweet. Woo! That's pretty close the whole time. Hey. Yeah, that was so close the whole time.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you just in the last berm. Like,
yeah.
those were some of my favorite moments on the Mount Vision over the last few months. I wanted to show you that because I'm going to be replacing that bike really soon with the Marin Alpine Trail. This will be my very first 29er, which I'm really excited and a little nervous about because being a smaller guy, I've always kind of pushed back on bigger wheels. I remember even like back in, let's see, 2014, when 27.5s first became a thing, I was like, nope, there's no way I'm gonna go up to that. I'm gonna stick with 26 for life. And then like it became impossible to get 26-inch wheels and it just wasn't an option anymore for trail bikes. So I've kind of sized up. This will be the first 29er. This bike looks absolutely insane though. It looks so sick. I can't wait to like get on this thing. It looks like a ton of fun. The bike's looking dialed. I just gotta wait on a few parts from Shimano, and then hopefully in the next few episodes here, I'll get a bike build video out for you guys. That's it for episode 18. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you want to be featured at the end of my episodes, as always, then go to the link in the description here, join that group folder, sign up for it, and upload your content so I can download it and put you at the end of the episodes. All right, thanks again, guys. See you in the next one.